just over the hill there is the Albert River, and the Albert River is why the distillery is located where it is. In fact, back in the 1860s when they were giving away land, or leasing it for a trivial amount of money, one of the conditions was that the land had to be very close to the rivers or a waterway, because that's the only way they could get stuff in and out. And one of the main things they were getting in and out was sugarcane. Now sugarcane grew everywhere here, it still grows here. In fact, this was the first place in Australia to grow commercial sugarcane. Still grows here. They burn the cane to get rid of all the green leaves and mainly to get rid of snakes and other stuff before they cut it. Now once they cut it, they've only got 3 days to get it to the mill. If they don't get it to the mill in 3 days, the sugar content is pretty much gone. And the longer they leave it, the worse it gets. And so the farmers here were struck with the challenge of getting that cane to the mill. Now one very enterprising dude decided, what if I had a boat with a crusher on it that could crush the cane? And then as soon as the cane is burnt, they could bring it to me, I'll crush it on the boat. Well, they get sugar content and I'm making some money on my boat. So he put that boat together. He got an old sailing boat, put a crushing mill on the front and started crushing cane. Of course, once you crush cane and spin it into sugar, you get molasses. Molasses is what you make rum out of. So I've got this molasses, what am I going to do with that? I'm going to make rum. So he applied to the government for a license to make rum on board his boat, and they granted him a license. His name was James Stewart, and the boat was called the Walrus. And the Walrus went up and down the rivers. In his first year, he made over 14,000 gallons of rum. The authorities were absolutely over the moon with that because, of course, they were making excise out of the rum. They encouraged people to make rum because they were making money for the colony. But in his second year, he only declared 4,400 gallons of rum. Now in the first year, that was over 25% of the rum produced in this area was produced on that boat. She was about 100 feet long. And in his second year, he only made 4,500 gallons of rum. And they said, hang on a second, there's something funny going on here. And so they said, look, it's too hard to keep an eye on what you're making, so we're going to take your license off you. So they took his license off him. So what did he do, our enterprising bosun? He went home and he cried on his mum's lap and said, oh no, they've done that. Look what they did, Mum. No, he didn't. He didn't do that. He was a Queenslander. He got in his boat and he kept going up and down the river. You have trouble finding me, we're going to have more trouble finding me now, mate. And the legend goes, he weighed rum on that boat for about 10 more years before one day she ran aground just on the river over there and the poor old boat was in a bad state of repair. But the people who own this farm, they decided there's a still there. If we buy that, we might just start making rum. And so they bought the still, put it in the still house and started making Beenleigh rum. That was in 1884. And it wouldn't have happened if it hadn't been for the river. It wouldn't have happened if it hadn't been for the Bosun and the Walrus chugging up and down that river.